Hello, I'm Lenny with the Checotah Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with Cindy McLaughlin at the Gentry Cinema. Cindy and her husband Nathan own the Gentry Cinema, and Nathan conveniently had to drive a school bus because today's the first day of school, and they have to have a bus driver. Nathan's one of those lucky fellas. Anyway, so when we scheduled the interview, I wasn't thinking about Nathan driving a bus. Because I'm sure you would love for him to be here helping you out.
Yes.
Because you two are quite the dynamic duo, in my opinion. I do enjoy seeing you two work together. So, okay, well, the Gentry Cinema is located at 214 West Gentry Avenue. Yeah, West Gentry, sorry. I get my west and my east confused, so it's west. Thanks for backing me up on that one. Maybe.
Yes.
And before I even get started, I usually always warn people that I am not a videographer, which means that I don't edit. I don't cut, I don't do that little trim thing with the scissors on the camera. So we are 100% technically live. So any mistakes or bloopers, they're gonna see that. But I'm okay with that because that's just how I am.
Okay.
No one is perfect no matter what they
No,
say.
they are not. There's not anybody perfect.
And we're close. Just kidding. Okay, so Cindy and I've gotten the pleasure of getting to know Cindy and Nathan over the last year and a half, and I have really enjoyed getting to know them. They're wonderful people, and I feel like some of you may not get to know them quite like I do because that's part of my job. So that's one of the benefits of my jobs. And I personally feel like Cindy and I are great friends.
Yes.
She may not feel the same way, but I feel like we are.
I can assure you I do.
Okay, all right. So my hopes and goals are for you all to get to see Cindy as I see Cindy and have a little bit more insight on the whole theater's process, because we all love the Gentry, and it's been here since every single one of us was a kid, and I wanted to be here for my kids and her kids and their kids. So anyway,
That's what we're hoping.
of course, yes, most definitely. So one of the things that I know that most of the people may not know is that you and Nathan are not Checotah born and raised. And that's okay, we're not mad. But one of the questions that I'm asked a lot, which I think is really funny, is how did you guys get here? Like, why Checotah?
Well, we were looking for like lots about 10 years ago, and Nathan has family here, and they suggested that we come to Checotah and look at some lake lots, and so we did, and we bought lake lots, and we started out with a travel trailer, and we eventually moved a house on it, so we had a lake house, and we came down for weekends, and we stayed through the summer. We would stay a week or 2 weeks. I would bring the kids down. Sometimes I would come by myself.
Oh, we don't need that.
And then we just decided we really loved Checotah. It was a really nice, friendly town, and we decided that we might like to retire here someday.
Fantastic.
So that was our plan, to retire.
To retire.
Yes.
Do you feel retired?
No, not one bit.
I would feel like you probably work harder now.
Yes.
If you did.
Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely.
Okay, so have you and Nathan just always wanted to own a movie theater? Is that a dream?
No, it was a spur of the moment.
Love those.
We did not know anything about the theater. We had never worked in a theater. Nathan didn't go to very many theaters as an adult, or movies. He did see some, but it was mostly myself and the kids because he always worked too hard. And but we just we came to Checotah, and I would bring the kids and the grandkids, and there wasn't a lot to do for kids, and we would have to travel to Muskogee to find things to do. And we happened to notice that the theater was for sale, and at the time we couldn't afford it. And so we waited, and in a few years it came up on auction, and we decided to take a look, and we fell in love with it, and we decided to come to the auction, and we were the only ones that showed up, and the only
I'm very glad that you guys won the only bid.
We've enjoyed it.
I just feel like it was meant to be.
Yes,
It had to
yes.
be meant to be.
Yes, it had to be.
So, that's,
Yes.
I'm glad. So, I personally have always loved the theater, and there was a time that I had some family that was looking into buying a theater. And in the process, we found out it is extremely expensive to own a theater.
Yes.
I mean, things that people don't even think about being expensive, it's expensive. So I wanted you to kind of talk about, you don't have to give me numbers, but I would like to know, how expensive is it to get current movies?
It is very expensive, and for the smaller theater, it's more expensive than the larger theaters because they have more screens, so they can show up more times through the day, and they have more ticket sales. Your ticket sales are really important, especially when you go to get the new releases. The higher your ticket sales are, or they call them butts and seats, and the more butts and seats you have, the better chance of you getting the new releases. So when your seat count goes down, you have to wait a month or so out to get the movies. If you can keep them up high, then you can keep the new releases, but it's very expensive. We have to put down a deposit on some, which would go into our balance at the end of the movie showing, and some you have a guarantee that you have to pay, and that you do not get back. So if you don't sell the tickets, then you just lost the money. But you get a very, very small percentage on the ticket sales.
So if you two, I'm assuming that this is a you two's decision to make on what movies to bring in. If you two say you order in a rock and roll movie, and this town, Checotah, isn't rock, we're cowboy, we're not rock and roll, or whatever, we're ballet, I don't know. Anyway, if you order in the wrong genre movie,
Which has happened.
then you might lose out on the chance to get the next current movie that comes out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Until a week or 2 or 3 or whatever, after it's been released at all these other theaters around, then
Right.
you can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's hard.
Yes, it's very hard.
'Cause
It's a guessing game, and you just never know.
yeah, don't ever try to guess what I'm thinking or what's going through this, because I don't even know. So I can't imagine how hard that has to be.
Yes, it's very, very hard because you've got a guessing game. We do have a booker who lives out of state, and he books our movies for us. That makes it a little bit easier because he knows how to haggle for the movies, and he's experienced. We were not.
I just love a good haggler.
And yeah, and so he helps a whole lot, and he'll let us know which movies are the top movies and which ones he feels like will work the best or bring in the most ticket sales. He has picked some rotten eggs for us, but you know, he's not from a small town, he's not from Oklahoma. So he doesn't know Oklahoma, he doesn't know small towns. It's just, it's a guessing game for him too, but he can kind of go off of what is projected.
Understand. So each time, so butts and seats, does it matter whether they come the first, like the first night that it airs, or that it comes out, like the first weekend, opening weekend, let's just say that. Is it more important that we're all here that weekend, or is it okay that we kind of go through until the next weekend? If it's a 2-week movie.
Right. The first weekend is very important, but in the end, all seats all through the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever we're showing it counts.
Okay.
They'll add them all up together, but that first weekend is important. But the others are just almost as important.
Okay. I understand that. You want as many people that will come and watch the movies that will.
Yeah.
So, and I get that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I know, because we've discussed it before, and like I said, it has some family. The ticket sales are important because that's how you keep your new movies. However, money-wise, that's not how you make your money.
No.
So how do you make your money? How do you keep the air conditioner, which by the way is very nice, just because this is one of those 100 and something degree days, so it's hot outside. And the air conditioner feels
very
good.
expensive.
Yeah, I'm sure it is expensive to keep this place
Yes.
cool, and
All
the
buildings.
lights and the water, because there's a whole lot of stuff that goes into having a business or even a home. You know, 'cause there's a lot. So how do you make your money? How do you keep those lights and this air conditioner working?
Our money
Oh.
to pay for all of our bills and such comes through the snack bar or the concession. What we sell, that's what pays for all of the bills and the upkeep and restocking and all that such. So the more concessions we can sell, the longer we can keep the lights on.
I understand that. So, all right. So for all of us that are a little bit cheap, and we've all been there. You know, bring that extra $2-3, buy you some popcorn, buy you a pop, something. Just any little bit always helps. Just, you know, saying, because it's not always all about the ticket sales. So I'm pretty sure that's what those movie stars get. I don't know if that one. It sounded good. So you're helping pay the movie star salary. Okay, so I was trying to think if I had any other questions for you, and you pretty much answered most everything that I have asked. You've answered everything I've asked, not most. you nailed it all, thank you. I do hate that Nathan missed out. So just so you know, Nathan is the guy that's behind the register selling you your ticket. And Cindy is the one that's taking care of you and putting all the love into the popcorn and handing you all the things from behind the counter as Nathan's shouting it, but not shouting, but he's the one telling her what to do. He likes to be the boss.
Yeah. Sometimes I have to remind him that he needs to stay in his station.
I got it. You're selling tickets, brother.
That's right.
So, I'm tickled to be here, and I love you guys and appreciate you guys, and
Thank you. We love you too.
I know that we're at every movie that we can possibly make it to. So I hope to see you all here.